Hello guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do a big shout out to Steel Helmet Stan and a big thank you for these items. He sent me a parcel the other day and I received it in the mail yesterday, and some really nice items in the parcel. And as I say, a big thank you to Steel Helmet Stan. Steel Helmet Stan's a fellow YouTuber and military collector, so if you haven't checked out his channel before, I would certainly advise you to do so. I'll leave a link down below for his channel. Anyhow, the first item that he sent was this book here, The Phony Victory, the World War II Illusion by Peter Hitchens. Peter Hitchens, a British author. He's quite a controversial figure here. He has some very controversial views on things like religions, politics, histories, and the like. And he published this book back in 2018. It wasn't very popular with the British. The British have a very sentimental view of the Second World War, and he kind of demolished that. Anyhow, I'm going to enjoy reading the book. I'm a bit of a cynical kind of guy myself, so I'll probably enjoy it. I read a little bit of the book yesterday. Just started it off. It's quite an interesting book, so thank you very much for that. I'll certainly read that. And the second item that Steel Helmet Stan sent me is that Blast from the Past. Boy, this is a nostalgic item for me. Thank you very much for that. Haven't seen this book for 30-40 years. I had this book as a kid when I was about 12 or so. It came out in the mid-1970s. I had the hardback edition. This is the softback edition that came out, I think, in 1978, it says there. But I had the hardback, as I say. My father bought it for me, and I really enjoyed looking at the photographs and reading it. This is it's basically a book that has bits of the English publication of Signal. Signal was the Wehrmacht magazine issued in occupied countries and also friendly countries to Germany in World War II. It was also brought out in the United States up until the Americans entered the war. And as I say, this is the English translation. They have this publication translated in about 20 languages for Europe. Anyhow, some amazing photographs that I remember from my childhood. I'm really going to enjoy going through this book again. I really love the Stalingrad article here, the last days of Stalingrad, with these quite amazing pen and ink drawings. And as I say, quite a few nice propaganda photographs. And this really is one of the books that really got me interested in the history of World War II and the German side of the war. I'm really going to enjoy looking through this book here. Brings back a lot of memories, so thank you very much for that. That was a very pleasant surprise and much appreciated. And the star item, I'll just put down that mat here just to protect it, is a very nice setup or pair of binoculars. These ones are REL Canada. REL, I believe, is Research Enterprise Limited. They were started in 1940 and made binoculars for the Canadian and British military from 1941 to 1945. And this one here looks absolutely almost brand new. Looks like it's probably ended up as army surplus after the war and sold as army surplus. Doesn't look like it's ever seen any actual service, but who knows. The red coloration to the plugs is perfect. Looks like they've never been opened. Anyhow, these are the so-called Navy binoculars. They're 7x50, so 7 is the magnification of the binoculars, and 50 is the size of the objective lens, which is about 2 inches. And these are kind of, I think they're called free focus. So it focuses from 10, 20 feet all the way to infinity, so you don't have to adjust the focusing. The eyepieces are adjusted just on the top here. And then, as I say, you can just leave them, and quite a nice pair of binoculars. I really enjoyed using them yesterday, and I'm going to use these. They're not going to be for my collection or just a static display item. These are actually going to be used. Still have the leather neck strap here. As I say, I'm going to use these. I'm going to probably change the neck strap for something more comfortable, a modern day padded one, but beautifully collimated. Very nice views out of these. I like looking at stars, stargaze, and I'm going to use these mostly for nighttime use, looking at the stars and what have you. But they're really good for also spying on my neighbors and the like. So you can see they're fully marked there. Rail Canada 1944 has the broad arrow marks there in the front here, and also in the front of the barrels there. These were put on there to prevent people stealing these and using them, but as I say, many of these were sold as surplus. And it also came with a very nice leather case, which I've got here. So a beautiful case, again, very good condition here. It looks again like it's never been issued out. And it has the Rail Canada to the back of it here. So very nice gift. Thank you very much appreciated. So they're all going to be used and all going to be enjoyed. So Steel Helmet Stan has a kind of a fetish for binoculars. I think he has about 500 pairs of binoculars in his collection. That's probably a slight exaggeration, but maybe not that much of an exaggeration. Anyhow, he really loves these rails, and I can see why. They're beautifully balanced in the hand. They're very ergonomic, and they're very beautiful. As I say, they're 7x50s. I'm not going to do a video on these. Steel Hammer Stan has 2 videos, so check out his channel for reviews on these binoculars. But they're very nice and very nice condition. Thank you very much. As I say, a very pleasant surprise and much appreciated. So anyhow, I'll leave it at that. And as I say, give Steel Helmet Stan's channel a check up if you haven't already. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.